to the finals of KSL Korean StarCraft League number 69. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of herO, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom on the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg. It is Dark. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat. Coming into this, herO is going to be favored, but again, we expect a back and forth out of this, and Darky has brought herO down in the past, of course. They do go back and forth, and I want to believe we can get another extended series out of these two here in the finals. Let's go. Let us go. And again, if you want to help support the KSL, you can do so via Patreon. I kind of touched on it before, but the KSL has been waning a little bit in support. So again, if you enjoy the Korean scene, if you join these players, then I do recommend checking out that Patreon. If the Patreon gets to a certain amount, then we can once again host this as a weekly. Currently, just a bi-weekly. Currently, every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, we have a KSL. But one day, we might be able to get back to that weekly event. But now, though, our players are going to be settling in. Hatch, Gas, Pool, Dark Force, Safety, Unnatural, Natural. And also, I just kind of took it for granted, but for those that are maybe unfamiliar, welcome one and all to herO. This is a map from TLMC number 17 from the Team Liquid map contest, and this is a rush map. It is a short rush distance by ground, very short here from natural to natural, or from third base to third base, and because of that, we see a lot of aggression. We see a lot of all-ins here on herO. To help make up for that, there is a ramp coming into the natural itself. There's a ramp coming into natural. There's a ramp coming into the third, and there is a very narrow choke point here at the center of the map as well. So there are some locations where you can make a defense, and you can slow down an all-in, but outside of that, aggression is favored. So we'll see how our players will approach this. We'll see what we go for. Oh, yo, shout out to Rex. Esther, the king himself. Esther Rex. Good to see you, Pappy. Good to see you. Much love, much love. Pappy, I didn't see you in today's brackets. Where's my Rex? Dark, he was the only Zerg player. The only Zerg player in the tournament, Pappy. Oh, no. Next time, we'll cast some Rex. 100%. As we do have our Stargate open out of herO. Stargate most likely into Oracle. We'll keep an eye on our Protoss player. Dead poking in. Doesn't come into the shade. Keeps tabs here on the gas income. Making sure nothing crazy is going on. And back at home, herO, he does defend. And it is going to be the Oracle first once again. Oracle out of herO. I want Dark to win, but I bet on herO, so whatever happens, I'll be happy. I mean, in general, I don't know, for me, myself, I'm a big fan of both players, both Dark and herO. Hard not to be. Hard not to be. Oh, as herO, do you see what I see? I see a delayed third base and a very fast Twilight Council. Now, if this was any other player, I would assume Glaives, right? I would assume a hidden Glaive up build from herO to rush into Glaives and try to catch Dark off guard. But herO is very fond of going for early Blink into potentially a setup for a 3-base all-in. So we'll keep an eye on him. What do you have for us? What do you got? Glaives or Blink? Twilight Council is now done. Third base just now getting up and running. And yeah, there it is. It's Blink. So Blink is on the way. Again, this is herO's go-to. The reason why this opener here, herO is so fond of it, is one, it keeps you safe against Roach all-ins. Like, if Dark were to go for an all-in himself off of 2 bases, then Blink does finish in time to defend against the all-in. So the early Blink timing can be very beneficial defensively. Likewise, also gives you a lot of map control early on as well. The downside of this opener, of course, is no Forge. No Forge means no upgrades, means your tech and getting to a longer game state is going to be a little bit more stifled. It's a rougher transition to a longer game, as you are set behind upgrade-wise. But you make up for that with earlier aggression. As now the Forge is on the way. Again, a later Forge. Well, Blink is almost done, and once it finishes, herO can move out. He can move out, he can hunt down Overlords, deny creep, and dance with the army. Dark going for his roaches. Roach Warren is placed. The setup gets scouted. So safety Roach Warren out of Dark. Let's go. We didn't see a lot of Roach play in his series against Classic, but now in the forefront against herO. Does mean that if herO were to be aggressive here, and he's about to be, Dark, he has access to Roaches to hold, to survive. And here comes herO. Blink is done. He has Blink, he has Oracle support as well. We spoke earlier how Oracle openers, I mean, there's a reason why they're the standard, because they're amazing defensively and also offensively as well. Now, the Oracles, they shouldn't be going for the mineral lines. Their goal here is to throw down the Revelations and to set up stasis traps to protect these Stalkers. Stasis traps, pulsar beams as well. Oh. Barely catching a tumor. Again, just supporting those Stalkers. As herO does rotate. There's the stasis. So here he has a fallback point. Can pull back to that stasis if he gets overwhelmed. Picking up more tumors. herO going for a Ling round by. Gets a probe. Gets a worker. herO, he rotates once again. Hasn't dealt any major damage yet, and Dark is amassing roaches as we speak. Cutting workers at 56. Building on more roaches, +1 range, roach speed as well. Dark, he might just commit here with that roach-based push with +1. As that's a lot of roaches. Yeah, he's just going. He's just moving out. And Dark, the 4th base is just for Larva. It's going to be denied anyway. He doesn't care, he just sends everything across the map. He's going for the all-in. Stasis goes off, Queen's going to be going down, but Darky doesn't care. And back at home, what do we have to defend? We have 2 shield batteries. There's the recall. The Roach is forcing their way in. And Stalkers are exposed. 2, 3, 4 Stalkers going down already. Oracles, they race back home. And can Dark get on top of the economy? As he is getting the surround. Yeah, it comes in from both angles here. Stalkers are falling left and right. And here he's being broken. Yeah, he cannot defend. Not against this many roaches. Or can he? Oh. Takes down more Stalkers. Behind this, 12 probes do fall. We have to count. And here he holds. Does hold on. Does force back those roaches. Now, what's most scary here in this defense? Here's a head worker wise. Here he still has a worker lead despite losing 12, which is crazy. Here still has a greater economy. Dark does not have a 4th. Yeah, +1 kicks in. And Dark is being shut down here. Now he's droning up. Now he's trying to transition out of this, trying to macro. But after a failed all-in, he's in a rough position. herO from here, +2. +2 is on the way. Prism as well to reinforce. herO setting up for a massive counterattack. Oh boy. And can Dark hold? As Dark is double expanding, so he should be willing to cancel the expansion. Here he gets spotted. Dark is ready. Oh! Stasis goes up. Stasis does go up. Zealous, they find the expansion. Forcing a cancel. Dark, his 5th base is denied. But that's a big reason why he did double expand, to make sure he got at least 1 base. Patching out the Stalkers. Not bad. Takes down 2. 2 Stalkers going down. Getting a 3rd towards the end. Dark looking for a cancel. And he should be able to. Oh no! Oh, that was close, man. It's close. Cancel the Nexus. And Dark is recovering. He's droning up. He's saturating. Hydra production has begun. Devastation bits on the way. And herO needs a 4th. Needs an expansion. Can he hold on? Storm is done. It's one of those things where herO, he has a high worker count, but he's not mining efficiently. He needs that 4th base. Oh, as the road is exposed. Dark trying to pull herO apart. Oh, barely will get the Robo. Robo goes down. Hero out of position. Fourth base going to be denied. Very nice pickup. When that's a kill. Oh my god. That should not have happened. That's a kill, not a cancel. And Hero, he's in a rough place. He's pulling back. Force the storm. And Darky's overwhelming. Just overwhelming Hero at this point. Takes out the Prism. High Templar inside as well. Massive pickup. And back at home, Darky defends. He survives. And he attacks as well. Takes a massive storm to the face. But Dark, he should be able to break this third. Wasn't able to the first time. But now he's here with Hydras. Now he's here with a greater army. And there's not much less to defend for Hero. We'll bring in more Stalkers. Pulling back. GG gets called. Whew, and Dark, he will take game number 1. We'll take a lead in the finals. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Dark does take a lead. And again, aggression is favored here on herO. Winding it back, if you remember, herO, as we mentioned, has a very short rush distance by ground. It is a rush map, and Dark, in the initial defense, he just ignored the Stalkers. He just went across the map. His fourth base was cancelled. He just sent mass roach across the map. He was able to deal enough damage. More importantly, he made sure that his opponent never got a fourth base of his own. So here he wasn't able to stabilize, wasn't able to build up, and here was shut down. GG. GG, well played. Dark does take a lead, and I do favor Dark on these smaller maps. Maps like herO, maps like Whispers of Gold as well, even El Dorado. But now we're going to be loading into a much larger map of the map pool. Up next, Starchild. Let's go. Starchild is another TLMC map, and is quite large. There's a lot of bases, very defendable as well. It reminds me a little bit of Amygdala, where it's a large map, there's a lot of bases, but there are also a lot of rocks. And once you knock down the rocks, it does open the map up, and does allow you to be more aggressive, more active. We go. God damn it. Esther Dave. Okay, we're getting up. I'm getting ready here. Oh. Just catching up with the chat. Yo, shout out to Maddox as well. Oh, annyeong haseyo. Yo, big shout out to Maddox. Este Maddox. Good to see you, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, Pappy. For those that are curious, Maddox, of course, he is, I was going to say a caster, but I guess it's been a while since Maddox has been casting a lot on his channel. Mainly, of course, hosting, I should say translating as well. Maddox out there, working in esports. Recently did have an interview with Zombie Grub for the GLHF series, for GLHF. Do recommend. Big shout to Maddox. Here we go. Now we're getting into game number 2. Again, a much larger map, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Starchild, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg himself leading the series 1-0. It is Dark. Let's go. And welcome once again to another TLMC map. Again, very large, a lot of bases, and likewise very defendable locations as well. We have rocks here protecting the third base. We have rocks in between the bases, creating a very narrow choke point as well, very defendable, and likewise a narrow entrance on the left-hand side as well. Securing yourself and fortifying a 4-base economy, even a 5-base economy, is much easier here on Starchild. So the style of play that we saw from Dark in Game 1 is less effective here on this larger map. This is why I said previously that I do favor Dark on smaller maps like Whispers of Gold, like herO, alongside maps like even Ley Lines and still an El Dorado as well, but on these larger maps, that's where herO can get into his own. That's where it's more difficult for Dark to be aggressive, and herO can have more freedom. We go. As I mentioned before, there's a lot of rocks here on the map, and once they get knocked down, then these entry points become a little more accessible, and we can start rotating between the bases and be more active, be more aggressive. The gas steal is denied. Dark, he attempts the gas steal. He wants the gas. Oh, gonna be forced back. herO takes himself, and we're settling in. Again, Dark, early on, he actually attempted a hatch block as well, so that's the purpose of this drone. Hatch block into gas steal. Did fail though, and with that, herO, he holds. Does hold on. Dark going for his own hatch gas pool setup, and we're settling in. Drone blocking the Nexus. It was an attempted hatch block here, which is something that Dark does enjoy doing in this matchup. I'm sure this won't be the first time we see a drone this early on across the map. I'm sure we'll see it again in a future game in this series. So don't you worry, this drone will make a return. He'll be back. So now it is going to be a Stargate opener. Stargate opener out of herO. Takes down the drone. Takes down the worker, and now we can settle in. From here, Dark should be joining up himself, getting a couple of safety links here to keep up with the initial depth, to maintain himself. And we're waiting for the first unit of choice. Stargate is done. Show us what you got. Hup. Oracle opener. It's going to be the Oracle once again out of herO. So it looks to be triple Oracle into a third base, into a standard setup. Last game we saw herO go for earlier Blink, which as we mentioned is going to be favored to be more defensive and a little bit more active on the map. Here I expect a standard Blink timing, a standard Twilight Council with a Forge. I don't really see that aggressive style being as effective on this map either from herO. But we'll see. We'll keep it on herO. As Adepse threaten a Shade to Adepse can one-shot drones. Now pulling back. Oracle's on the way. So far, no major damage. Third base is being taken. The Oracle does slip in. No Spore in position. Gets one, gets two drones. Gets three even. Takes a little hold damage. Will escape. Will get away. Meanwhile, Adepts likewise denying mining here at the third. They deny mining. They cancel the Shade. But here he will soon have to get the hell out of here. There we go. Does pull out. Does pull away. And will escape. Should be able to escape here. Dark with his own link run by. Attempts to threaten the third, but there is an Adept in position. Likewise, 2 more drone kills. The Oracle gets very low. Whew. Down to 5 HP. Still barely alive. Generating shields, and here's the standard follow-up. Now that the Nexus is almost done, we have the Forge and Twilight Council. This is the more standard +1 in Blink. So this time, no early aggression, no early move-outs, like what we saw in herO. On a larger map, standard play instead. As here, he does move out with his initial 7 Adepts. With this, he can threaten a dive. Oh, does commit! Oh, he's making his way towards the mineral line. Darky pulls away in time. Does pull away. herO not throwing away his Adepts yet. Shays into the third. And here he can get some workers, but not quite links. They are keeping up. Queens rotate, drones survive. And Adepts will fall. The Oracles are coming from behind though. 2 drones, it's something. Gets up to 4. 4 drone kills for 7 Adepts, not as worth it for herO. Does also mean he's more vulnerable back at home, and here comes the link counterattack. The Adepts are usually at home to defend, but here they're gone. We have 2 Stalkers, shield batteries on the way, Oracle is in position, is racing back home. herO should be okay. Should be okay here. Plus on melee. Ooh, I was about to say plus on melee, signifying that we're going to be skipping roaches, and we are. We're going plus on melee into Spire Tech, into Mutas. Let's go. I mean, again, Muta play is more viable on larger maps just because you're safer for compared to a counterattack. Safer from a counterattack. Revelation gets eyes on the gases, does not get eyes on the tech. So here he doesn't confirm. Doesn't know what's going on. And because it's melee, because it's not roaches, this looks like mass Muta, by the way. It's not. It doesn't look like just mutas to harass and just to get into a mineral line and just to pick up some workers. No, 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 no. Mass muta, papi. Let's go. Oracles, they dip in towards the main. They once again do not confirm. They don't get far enough. And the Spire is done. The Spire is completing. Now, here, he did confirm there's no other tech in the main, which is a little bit suspect. We have a cannon on the way at the third, but the main base is exposed. The main is exposed, and Natural's exposed as well. He's not ready for mutas. Not at all. Does move out to knock down the fourth. Fourth is going to be denied. That's 11 mutas on the way, and +1 air attack as well. So again, Dark, he's committing to purely Muta, like Muta Ling. Pure Muta Ling. Oracle reveals the queens. Hunting down overlords. Gets Revelation here with the natural. Still has not confirmed the mutas. Still doesn't know. May spot some of them popping out, but it's too late. Mutas, they get across the map. They make a beeline here for the natural. Cannon's now on the way. Does notice. That's too late. Probes are going to be going down. It does force a recall. The storm isn't ready. 10 probe kills already. And how we go into the main. We head into the main base, getting to 12. Pulling back. Not a single muta has gone down. Very efficient trades. Ooh, but Darky... Okay, we're good. Does pull away. Does pull back, still making more mutas. Mutas are massing up back at home. Dark fully saturating on 4 bases. Droning up. And pulling back. And Dark is still committing here to more muta production. Just purely Ling muta. And it was a good start, but now now herO has Storm. Storm is ready. Storm is ready. He has High Templar in the main. Only 2 High Templar though. Because they hit the natural. They force a big reaction. Gets a Revelation off. Not bad. Can keep tabs on these mutas. At the same time, Dark ready for a massive Ling run by at the third. There is stack defense to buy time. Gets another Revelation. Mutas are still building up. Getting up to how many? Up to 23. So it'll be 27 mutas. But these storms are still terrifying. There's a first storm. Grabs on the Lings, on the mutas. Ooh. All the High Templar go down. And there's no storms left. Only Stalker. Archons are on the way. More Archons behind this. I mean, here he can fight well. Dark, he cannot fight this head on. As we can see here, against Stalker, Archon, and Storm, Ling muta melts. Oof. They're losing more muta. This is an army designed to counterattack, to harass, not to fight head on. Is forcing herO back. Forcing at least some of his army back home. Here he splits up. Going for the mineral line. Mutas are in position in the main. Mutas are being shut down. Mineral line falls. 11 drone kills. Very nice. 11 workers go down. Mutas are racing back home. But the base will fall. And here he can always recall. He doesn't need to. Yeah, he doesn't need to. He's snowballing out of control. Darky's getting called out. The Archon boys are brutal. GG gets called. He cannot fight head on. And herO, he will tie the series 1-1. We have a back and forth. GG. We have a back and forth. Again, mutas, they do a great job harassing, dipping between bases, but they cannot fight the main army. That cannot happen. We saw Dark just take some massive storms to the face, being zoned away by the Archons. And here he just walked across the map. He just rolled over Dark. GG. GG, well played. Whew. We have a series. Again, it's very difficult to make Mass Muta work, to be honest. It's very difficult outside of containing your opponents and non-stop harassment into the mineral lines. The hope for Dark is to keep herO at home, right? The hope for Dark is to keep him contained, keep him stuck at home, and make sure herO doesn't counterattack. Because if he does, I mean, we saw what happens. We saw what happens, Pappy. Ay, ay, ay. It was also unfortunate for Dark that herO, he was already taking into Storm, right? Like if he was going for a Bay into Colossus, into a second Robo as well, then herO would not have pushing power, but he was already working towards Archons and Storm anyway. So herO, he was already taking in the correct direction and was able to snowball out of control. GG. GG, well played. Here we go. I was questioning why High Templar instead of Disruptors, now I see why for potential Mutas. I mean, High Templar, they have a lot of potential against a lot of competitions. A lot of compositions. High Templar, they struggle more against Roach Ravager-based compositions, if that was what Dark had gone for. But against Lings, Mutas, Hydras, against Lurkers as well, High Templar are the go-to. They are the go-to. Against more tanky, more robust armies, that's where units like Immortals and Disruptors, that's where they can shine. Whether it's against Roach Ravager, whether it's against Ultra-based compositions as well, that's where you will need to mix it up. But for now, we're settling in. We are getting into game number 3 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of El Dorado. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Weibo Gaming, tying up the series 1-1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, being forced into a tied series. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is Dark. Here we go. And if you recall, I think someone was saying earlier, like, oh, like, isn't it weird that there's like a drone blocking in the previous game? And we did mention the validation, the vindication, as Dark is going for the hatch block again. 2 games in a row. Again, Dark is very fond of this. He's very fond of this in this matchup in ZVP, setting up for that hatch block. And the problem here is that Dark has a reputation. Here he's already on patrol in the low ground. He's already ready, and he denies the hatchery. Very nicely done. Again, Dark a little bit predictable here, as it's very common that he goes for the hatch block and he is denied. With that herO, he freely expands. Whew, okay. So far, so good. Now Dark is going for the gas steal. The probe is in position. Again, just like last game. Just like last game, the gas steal was denied. And from here, herO can settle in. Can settle in. And we might see a similar dynamic again next game as well. Or at least herO getting ready for that, I should say. As Dark is going to be zoned away. Back at home, going for his own hatch gas pool setup. And again, Dark and herO, they play against each other so often. So there's a lot of mind games, a lot of meta gaming that comes in that gets into play as well. Just because they know how each other play, they know what their tendencies are. That's why herO was already patrolling the low ground as quickly as he was, because he was getting ready for a probe, or for a drone, I should say. Whereas a player like Classic or like Trap may not be as kind of intent on that. May not be as aware. Or Max Packs especially. Like, we've seen Dark be quite successful with that kind of stuff against Max Packs. But that's also because they don't play as often, right? From different regions. As Dark is taking his third, joining on up, saturating his bases. And we can settle in and get into our own setup here. Once again, we are expecting it to be a Stargate opener. Stargate is Oracle into a third base. And welcome one. Oh, never mind. Okay, we're mixing it up. Void Ray opener instead. Let's go. Void Ray opener here out of herO. And now the purpose of the Void Ray and the advantage that this has as opposed to the Oracle is to hunt down Overlords. To hunt down these Overlords, to keep Dark in the dark and to deny any vision, deny any scouting, and to potentially hide tech. Now, what's important here is that you don't have to. This could be a Void Ray into Oracle into a third base into a standard game with +1 and Blink, right? This could still lead into a standard setup, or we could see a second Stargate, we could see a Fleet Beacon into a Tempest Rush, we could see a Twilight Council into Glaive Adepts, we could see a fast Robo into Archons, into Storm. Like, there's a lot of possibilities here, and the problem for Dark is that he doesn't know. Could be standard, could be something crazy. So here he does supply block Dark by hunting down that Overlord. Big supply block, actually. Meanwhile, earlier Twilight Council, you have my attention. Twilight Council into Forge. Not going to be Glaives, +1 and Blink. This could be +1 in Charge. True, that is another option. As the Oracle does move out. Does move out for some scouting. Getting across the map. Oh. This does go up. There's the army. Meanwhile, it's going to be Lair first out of Dark. Interesting. Lair first, Eva Chamber. Typically, this should be leading into faster Hydra production. We'll see if he does skip his Roach Ward. So he may be skipping Roaches, going straight Ling Hydra. Oh no! Oh, as herO does overextend, massive pickup, Oracle goes down, and herO is in the dark. Even more so than usual. Now, what's most scary here for herO, because of the Void Ray opener, this was not triple Oracle. He does not have additional Oracles to scout, to check, to harass. That's not the case. So scouting is now very limited for herO upon losing that first Oracle. Doesn't know what's going on. We have range on the way. Safety Roachhorn. Getting into range. With this, we should be seeing a bigger commitment into Hydra, into potentially towards Lurker Tech as well. We'll keep an eye on Dark. We'll see if he does cut Worker production. As the lair does complete. Is droning. There's that Hydroden, as I did mention, hidden behind the main. Ooh, and is investing into Roach speed. Okay. Setting up for Roach Hydra. Lanes are being deflected. Robo on the way. Now we're just securing ourselves on either side of the map. Dark's fourth base is delayed here, just now being taken. Expanding away from herO. Anyway, herO committing to a gateway heavy composition. Blink into charge, into +2. Into the Bay, not into Storm this time. Okay. So going for a more old school composition. Now the reason why I say old school composition is because kind of Colossus based openers are very out of fashion nowadays. The reason for this is because of the NG overcharge. I mean, High Templar are that much more robust or much more flexible just because you can just instantly give them energy and they can have Storm real fast and real quick. But as we were mentioning earlier, Storm-based openers can struggle against more Roach-heavy compositions. And the Roach one was scattered. True. Roach one was spotted. Roach speed did complete. But for now, no Roaches, just purely Ling Hydra. And the first Colossus is in production. So here comes a Colossus. Here he rotates. Does rotate over. Ideally wants to force a cancel or even kill the fourth. There's a lot of progression though, as the hatchery is now done. Darky does notice. Does notice the Stalkers. So far, Darky's keeping up and he's taking Infestation Bit into Hive into Lurker. So Darky's gearing up towards a longer game state. Army is revealed. Likewise, Prism into the main. Oh! Taking a lot of hits. Flush Transfuse, keeping the Queens alive. And Darky will shut this down. Preserve the Queens will lose 2 drones. Only 2. Overall assault defense here from our Zerg player. But this did distract, and herO, he establishes the 4th. 4th base is getting up. Colossus are amassing. And I assumed that Dark was going to be taken towards lurkers, but no, he's pushing out here and now, reinforcing with roaches. Doing Ling, Hydra, Roach here. 16 roaches on the way. Dark, he is going to focus on maxing out. Oh, force to cancel. Dark threatening a flank. herO pulls away. Does spawn all the Hydras. We need more than just Colossus. We need either a second Robo or a Temple Archives here and now. As relying on purely Colossus here is going to be quite difficult to pull off. And there it is, Temple Archives now on the way. He needs that Storm. And herO shouldn't be pushing. He should not be pushing into this. And really, it's Dark that wants to fight more than anything. Dark, he's max, and Dark, he's stuck on a subpar army. He has too many roaches. Too many roaches at this point. Does ideally want to get rid of them. Hive is almost done. Dark is set up in such a way that he wants herO to push into his army. Here he is somewhat reciprocating. Moving out. Does find the roaches. Dark setting for a surround. Is coming from behind. And here he's getting caught out. Has to fall back. Get in some of the Colossus. Yeah, and a lot of Stalkers do fall as well. Brutal pickoffs. Here he does blink over the wall though. Oh no. Does blink over. Whew. Making use of the terrain. Very clutch. That was almost disastrous. If he hadn't mined through this mineral, if he hadn't mined through that patch, he would have been cornered. He would have just lost everything there. Whew. I mean, he would have escaped with the Stalkers, but not the Colossus. Here he does pull away. Survives. Viper production has begun. No Lurker Den yet. Interesting. Dark, he's still remaxing with Roach Hydra. Roach Hydra Viper. And again, it doesn't have as much sustainability here. It doesn't have as much longevity even. Longevity in this game. It's very aggressive from Dark. And over time, Dark is going to be outscaled. Here comes the Flea Beacon. Here comes Storm and Skytoss. Like here, he's just getting further ahead, or he's taking up into a greater army. And this is a very lair tech army for Dark. So I'm concerned. Basically, Dark, he needs to find a fight soon. Like, he needs to engage, he needs to trade, and needs to break a base or the army. Here he comes. Here comes Dark. Storm is done in 10 seconds. Nice Colossus shots here on the roaches. Nice shots going over the feedbacks. Denies the yoinks. Denies the abduction. There's our first Storm. Despite that, there's still one more yoink. One Colossus goes down. But alas, he's in position. Yeah, Dark, he will be shut down. herO, he defends. He forces back the army. Dark, he plummets in supply. Remaxing with more Hydras. And now we see the Lurker Den. But this Lurker Den is late. It's a late Lurker Den. More importantly, late Lurker upgrades. This needs to have been done sooner. Needs to have been done sooner here. herO, he defends. And now he has plenty of Storm, plenty of High Templar. herO pushing in. He's got 4 Storms. Dark coming in for a flank. Hoping to bait out the Storm. Yoinks are coming in. Oh, the feedbacks! Yeah, 1 abduction. Storm on the Hydras. Takes down a Colossus, which is fine. We're done with Colossus. Yeah, brutal Storm. Storm pops off once again, but that was the final Storm. Yeah, no Storms left. And here he's being chased down. Again, here playing with fire. Calm down, Bobby, calm down. Behind this here, he has 1 High Templar left. 1 Colossus. Mothership's on the way. And Dark, he's just now starting his own Lurker upgrades. And he's still a ways off. Oh, going for a massive counterattack. Oh, the goal base is exposed. Not bad. Goal expansion goes down. herO, he's out of position. Completely. That'll be a dead Nexus. So nice run by herO. Nice counterattack by Dark. At the same time, Zealots, they hit the northern base. Roach is in position. Dark, he should... Oh, actually, he's being overwhelmed. Oh, the Zealots. They get the roaches, they get the hydras as well. Not a bad trade for herO. Likewise, he counterattacks. This base is going to fall. And Dark, he cannot fight the main army, not without lurkers. There's 7 lurkers on the way. Dark needs more time. So let's continue. This time they run into roaches. herO backs off. I do think there's potential for herO to push up this ramp, but he does back off, and lurkers, they have arrived. Whew, we made it. 7 lurkers. 7 lurkers for Dark. Vipers are on the way as well. He's got 2 Vipers. Has a couple of abductions. He's getting ready. Lurkers are revealed. herO rotating around. Running into more lurkers. He's going to commit. Yeah, Storm with the lurkers as well. 2, 3 lurkers going down. Mass feedback. The feedback's mapped every single time. He's crazy. Feedbacks, they've been on point. With that Dark, he's maxed. Up to 12 lurkers. Here comes the slow zone. Spreading out. Massive zone. Lurkers are exposed. And lurkers on their own. They cannot defend. Yeah, the base falls. And Dark instead going for a massive counterattack. And these lurkers are all going to go down. Again, they need some kind of buffer. They need support for themselves. As they pull away towards the natural. Another base falling. We're going for the base trade. At this point, we're committing to the base trade here. Dark going for the 4th. And here he abandons. He does abandon the base. He knows he cannot defend. 2 for 2. herO losing 2 Nexi. Dark losing 2 hatcheries. And there's the recall. Does recall back home. herO, he's in position. He will shut this down. And Dark's in a rough place. Like herO, he's on a 3-base economy. So is Dark, but this is hurting Dark that much more. Oh, catching out the Immortals. Oh, good. He gets 1. I still favor herO's army. Dark, he's down to how many lurkers? Down to 1. 1 lurker left. That's all that survived. 5 more on the way. Going to be 6 in total. Vipers, they need that energy. We need to avoid the feedback. As every single time herO, he's there. Feedbacks the hell out of Dark. He's going to be rotating. Here come the Vipers. Oh. Okay, we're hoping to yoink in the Colossus, the Immortals. Whatever Dark can get his hands on. As the lurkers out of position. There's the cloak. And GG gets called. Yeah, Dark, he's out of position, cannot defend that natural, and herO takes a lead in the series. Whew. GG. herO does take a lead, and this is a very interesting style out of Dark. If you recall, Dark was playing very, in a way, aggressive, and he wanted herO to be more aggressive as well. What I'm getting at is that Dark, he delayed his hive. He, more importantly, delayed lurker tech. He delayed lurker tech for a very long time. He was hyper invested into Roach Hydra. Specifically, he was hoping to fight early on, to collapse on the army, to push towards bases, and he was somewhat successful with that, but he was just outscaled. He was just outscaled over the course of that game, over time. As herO, he was able to take up into a greater army, and Dark, he just wasn't able to accomplish enough with that Roach Hydra. Just wasn't able to accomplish enough. It's just a very kind of mid-tier army there. And he, for the most part, was denying the goal base, true, like time and time again, but that's all he was really getting with that. He was hoping to reset the Colossus count. He was hoping to collapse on the Stalkers. But herO, he was so careful with his movements. And yes, herO, he was being active, but he never really committed into a fight, not until at least later on in the game. GG. GG, well played. Whew, just really patient and really careful play at a herO. And with that, herO is 1 game away from claiming the entire tournament. From being this week's KSL champion, we'll see if Dark can bounce back. We shall see. I mean, again, I'm hoping for an ace match. I'm hoping for a game 5. And this next map bodes well. Here we go. Up next, we're going to be loading into Frostline. Frostline, we've been here before in the previous series between Dark and Classic. This map is large, that is true, but very open, very wide open, very difficult to defend 3rd and 4th base, multiple angles of attack. And we saw Dark have his way with Classic, but to emphasize that as well, if you remember, Classic was trying to be very defensive. Remember, Classic was turtling up on 3 bases, trying to turtle on 4 bases as well. He was being much more defensive, which is where he did struggle. I'm curious how herO will adjust his approach. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have the South Korean Zerg player. The blue Zerg down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and force that ace match. That's all I'm hoping for. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. We go. He got kicked out of the Dark. True. Won't be for disruptors. Yes. For those that are curious, like Bay openers are typically for Colossus. Disruptor openers are that's not much of a thing. We do see disruptors in this match when it comes to like the mid game. They do have their place in certain aspects. They are a little bit more niche though, as we kind of mentioned before, against like more Roach Ravager based compositions where that kind of burst damage against units like Roaches are a lot more necessary. But even then, that's not quite what we saw in the previous game. And for now, we're settling in. For now, we are just calming down, settling in. We have our initial opener, Hatch Gas Pool. Likewise, herO going for his own Gate Expand. This time, no drone. This time, there is no drone. This time, there is no attempted hatch block. Dark, it's out of his system. He's done with it. He's done with it. Doesn't go for the hatch block, no gas steal, nothing like that. herO can comfortably settle in. And welcome one all to Frostline. Again, Frostline is one of the larger maps in the map pool, but also a very very vulnerable map as well when it comes to defending on 3 and 4 bases. We saw Classic did struggle, but at the same time, I'm assuming and I'm hoping that herO is going to take a more aggressive approach this time instead, fighting for map control and being the aggressor and forcing Dark to back off. But we'll see. We shall see. Do disruptors have damage upgrades? No, they do not. Do not. Looks like you changed the skins, did they? Oh, didn't notice. Here we go. So now we're calming things down. So far, we have our Stargate opener. Now, last game, we did see a Void Ray out of herO. I don't expect a Void Ray here on Frostline. Void Rays have their place, as we did mention, when it comes to denying vision and trying to hide your tech. We'll keep an eye on herO. We'll see. He goes for the Oracle or the Void Ray once again. There it is. Oracle first from our Protoss. So for the Oracle, moving out. Looking to gain map control. We can slow things down. We can take a breath back. We take a breath. It was an intense game. It's intense. And again, I'm hoping for a game 5, regardless of how this goes. Hoping for that ace match. Can we bring it home, Dark? Can we bring it home? As the Overlord is going to be chased down. herO setting up for his third. And the last time Dark was here, he did drone up to 3-base saturation. He was hyperfixated on Ling Hydra aggression, if you recall. On Ling Hydra. Was able to tear and pull Classic apart. Now we have 10 more Lings on the way to be secure to potentially counterattack and threaten the third. But I say 10, getting up to 16. Oh my god. Bigger investment here from Dark. And hopefully it pays for itself. Again, this is not an all-in, but ideally this shuts down the initial Adepts and does threaten the third. So things are moving out. Oracles have arrived. Dark just making a beeline across the map with those Lings. herO, he confirms the fourth. Fourth base is spotted. Dark, he does check the triangular third. herO, he expanded linearly instead. Adepts have arrived. And Lings, they're ready. Oh! Adepts, they come into the shade. But Lings, they're forced to back. They're forced to chase them down. There's going to be how many? There's going to be 6 Adepts here on the map. And Lings are falling. So far here, he was able to shut them down, able to keep up. And that's a pretty rough velocity for Dark. Did delay his own droning for all those Lings, and they get shut down. herO moving out. Threatens to dive. Stark is trying to redrone. Trying to maintain himself. Droning back up to 3-way saturation. We have +1 and Blink on the way. Standard follow-up here out of herO. They head for the main. And they don't find too much here. Dark pulls back. And is going Ling Hydra again. So Eva Chamber into upgrades into Ling Hydra. Dark double expanding. Getting his 4th. And now a 5th base as well. And for now, the early game is relatively passive. I mean, outside of all those dead Lings, of course. But both players are droning. And so, Dark, he shouldn't really be aggressive until he gets his Hydras online. Still waiting for that. Going for +1 range. This is what we saw last time. Range into Hydra range as well. +1 into Hydra range. Into Mass Hydra. Oh. Or if we get 6 drones, not bad. 6 workers going down. Good damage. Oracles fall back. And herO, he wants that 5th. Does want that expansion. He did spot it ahead of time. And Dark should not be able to save this. He's not quite in position. There's a cancel. Very ambitious expansion there from Dark. Oh. herO pulls away. Pull back, trading with the Lings. Trade going for the Queens as well. They are exposed. Being dragged off a creep. Dark has to be so careful here, as there is so much dive potential from herO if he sees an opening. Now denying creep. Denying the expansion. Rotating over. Dark taking his 5th towards the top side instead. herO does back up. He backs off and he's going to rotate. Adepts to defend the bases. And similarly here to Classic, we have a wall of cannons. Wall of cannons, shield batteries, all on the way. Again, this is more necessary on this map than on others, as it is very difficult to defend. So here he's walling up. He's walling up back at home. Storm is on the way. Again, on El Dorado here, he didn't need this kind of setup. It's very map specific. Here he's still being active. Does have the relation. He spots the army rotation here of Dark. He sees, and there's the recall. Does recall back home. Storm is not ready. Oh. Storm is still not ready. Dark, he checks for the 4th. He's got Mass Ling Hydra. He's maxed out. Zelson Depth, they do get across the map. They're trying to force Dark back home, but he's going for the base. He's going for the expansion. herO, he should cancel. Up. Oh, that's a kill. That's a kill, not a cancel. Oracle goes down as well. Rough loss here for herO. And herO, he's struggling. He's struggling to defend. Adepts get cleaned up. Dark defends. Does defend back at home. And Dark, he got what he wanted. Like, his win condition here, deny the 4th. Just deny the 4th base over and over again. Doesn't have to push into the 3rd. That's all Dark needs. Stark, he pulls back. Hive is done. Lurker upgrades are on the way. Taking up into Ling Hydra Lurker. Hydra Swarm as well. And there's a lot of pressure on herO. He's not out of this yet, but he needs to at least maintain map control to allow himself to expand. He needs that fourth. Does need that fourth base. They collapse in. Oh. They threaten us around. Meanwhile, we have how many High Templar? 7. 7 High Templar, each with at least 1 storm. That's a lot of storms. Gets a lurker. Not bad. Takes down the lurker. 1 High Templar gets caught out. Brutal pickup. He gets 1, down to 6. The lurkers, they get picked up one after the other. And storms, they do a great job just zoning. They zone away the army. Lings are falling one after the other. Oh, there's barely not enough here. The storms are good, but the stalk is getting so low. And here he doesn't get on top of the base. He's forced back, forced to rotate. He wants that 5th. He came close. Oh my god. The storms are brutal. Storms, they pop up. There's what, 2 storms left. Down to 1. 1 storm remaining. Nice around. It takes out the lurkers. He gets 1. He gets 2. He gets all 3. There's 1 lurker left. And Darky's barely holding on. But throughout all this, the 4th base. The 4th base is getting up. Here we go. Side defense is on the way. There's a recall, and here he needs to wall up. He needs that side defense. Can he hold? We're blinking away. Here comes a Dark's rotation. Making his way over. Night Storm is done. He can Night us into the main. herO does notice. herO's keeping up. Keeping up, catching out Immortal as well. Massive pickup. Nidus is on the way. And here he does notice. Does notice the Nidus. Storm popping up. Decent storm. That's a lot of lurkers. Here he cannot push in. Meanwhile, another Nidus in the center. So Darky can rotate back and forth between these bases. Oh yeah, the High Templar, oh my god, 3 High Templar go down. Massive pickups, the Archons as well. And miscontrol by herO. And Darky's popping off. He's pulling herO apart. Again, it's so difficult to take a 4th base on this map. Like, Classic found out the hard way, and herO as well. Yeah, welcome to Frostline. It's like, aye. As Darky collapses on the army, takes down the Immortal, just isolates the 4th, and more knock it down. Knock down the 4th base. The Immortals are going down as well. There's nowhere to run. And herO can just never expand. He can never take a 4th on this map. It's not going to happen. As they just keep filing in. They collapse on the High Templar. Mass Cloak. herO, he's holding on. And again, Dark doesn't have to push in. He doesn't have to break the 3rd. Like, we can just calm down. As a reminder, like, the win condition is just deny the 4th. But the Nidus finishes. Mass Nidus in the main. Lurkers, they're going for the production. Stargate's under fire. Takes control of the ramp. And the main base, it's forfeit. It is forfeit at this point. Here we're going to try to push up the ramp into all these lurkers. Ay. More Hydras piling in. And Dark, he does it. He has broken the main. He's broken herO. Sure, there's the mothership, but they can't do anything. GG gets called, and Dark ties up the series 2-2. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. We're going to the ace match, going to game 5. And I'm most curious as to what map we're going to be loading into. Again, the maps are so influential as to certain playstyles, what is favored, what is not. Again, just to reiterate, for Frostline, I mean, that's kind of like the tail of Frostline. We very rarely get to late game on Frostline because it is so difficult to maintain your 4th base, your 5th base. I want to give praise to herO, though, because he did a great job when it came to his own aggression. Like, his push towards the top side was doing so well, sniping lurkers, sniping Hydras, storms on the Lings. Like, he was doing really well for himself. But he didn't break the base, and he was hoping for that. If he had, he could have kept pushing, but Dark defended. And once the defense happened, then Dark, he could once again gain map control and just never allowed herO to sustain himself. Never allowed a fourth base to get up and running. GG. GG, well played. And what is the ace match? We're loading into Ultra Love. Oh boy, the final map of the series, a much smaller map. There's a lot to get into. There's a lot to get into here. Ultra Love, of course, a much smaller map in the map pool. And likewise, a very defendable map as well. We'll get there. We will get there. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, tying up the series and forcing the ace match. Can he keep it going? Momentum is on his side. It is Dark. Hello. As we're going back to basics here, we didn't see this on Frostline, but we did see this on El Dorado. We saw this on the previous map before that as well. Dark, he's going for the hatch block. He's going for the hatch block here at the natural. We saw that here he was so well at defending against this previously, but this time there's no probe in position and the hatchery is thrown down. The hatch block is upon us. Finally, Dark, he attempted this on Starchild. He attempted this on, was it Leylines? Again, he tried to do this like 2 or 3 games already in the series. Finally, it's upon us, and finally he does force the boys being pulled. So this is not an all-in. This is not a rush. Behind this, Dark should be expanding. He's going for the gas. His expansion is denied. herO doing a great job here at punishing Dark and making sure that Dark doesn't take that natural. Spawning pool's now on the way into a delayed expansion from Dark. But again, this is just designed to disrupt the opener. This is designed to delay the economy, delay the natural, forces probes off the mineral line so there's no mining. Just a way to really throw a wrench in the works here for herO's opener. A way to disrupt the Protoss. To make them as there we go, going for the pylon block. You love to see it. Here he blocks the expansion. And ideally will block the other as well. As there we go, Dark will take the unnatural natural, very exposed base. But Dark is double expanding. There we go, the double expand. To afford this, Dark, he delays his queen. The queen is delayed in favor of 2 hatcheries. Oh boy. So Dark, he's going to be more vulnerable back at home, just because of delayed queen production and delayed links as well. But here he's trying to stabilize. Taking his Nexus. Oh. Drone finally goes down. And we're waiting for hero's tech of choice. Should just be a Stargate. Like every game so far, we've seen a Stargate opener. We have seen herO go Void Ray once. That was on El Dorado. Outside of that, we expect an Oracle. And as we calm things down, we can welcome you all to Ultra Love. Welcome one all to Ultra Love. Ultra Love is a much smaller map in the map pool. Short rush distance by ground. We have seen a lot of successful all-ins on this map, and I imagine that Dark is going to be more aggressive coming into a smaller map, as he typically is. So aggression is going to be favored. The downside, though, is that even though the map is small and the rush distance is short, the bases are defendable. We have a ramp coming into the natural. There's a ramp coming into the natural, and there is a tower that can be destroyed here at the third as well to completely wall this off. So there is a destructible tower. Likewise, here on the right-hand side, you do have a narrow choke point coming into the third as well. And on top of that, we have these very narrow bridges. Like, there are so many choke points and so many points of elevation as well where you can defend, where you can have a better defense even with a smaller army. So because of that, despite how small the map is, and despite how aggressive you can be, if we can survive the early game, then we typically lead into a late game. Like, there's a lot of late game on Ultra Love, or I should say there's a lot of extremes. Either really short rushes or ultra long late game. It is more of a map of extremes here. And we'll see which version we get. Go. Oracle does hit the mineral line. No major damage. Just a nice mining. Keeping tabs here on Dark, just making sure the Dark is droning. So far, he is. Is saturating. And we'll see if Dark goes for an early lair, early roaches. If he cuts workers, show us what you got. This hero is being active. Again, it just doesn't take long at all to go from base to base. It's they were right next to each other. Hero moving in. He's got his 5 adepts. Shades into the natural. How many links do we have to defend? Ooh, only 8. Dark, he did cut link production. Adepts, they commit. They trade well against the lings, but they want that mineral line. Dark, he pulls away. He respects the adepts. Does pull away. Hero cancels the shade. Does he go for the recall? He won't be able to. He's going to be cornered. Lings, they collapse in. Oracles, they do find a couple of transferring workers. 3, 4, 5 drones going down. Catching out Lings as well. Nice hold position micro. Gets 8 workers, a good amount of Lings. I say 8 workers, getting up to 10. 10 drones do fall. And behind this, hero transitioning into +1 and blink. Standard follow-up out of hero. The Oracles, they will survive. And he's racing back. And the pressure is now on Dark. He's doing what he can. Surrounds the Zealot. Third base back at home, safe and secure. There's 4 Stalkers in position. Lings, they check. They confirm the Stalkers. Is where there's no like charge follow-up or anything crazy like that. Is going to be Blink Stalker. Dark, he has some droning to do. He has to re-drone, double expanding. Getting a 4th, getting a 5th. Evo Chambers on the way. I would imagine this is for a +1 melee. We'll keep an eye on Dark. See if he goes into range again. Uh-oh. That's no gases at the third base. That's a gateway explosion. 3 base all in. Here, he's going for a 3 base all in. He's not set up yet, but that's a lot of gateways on the way. Getting up to 9 gates back at home. And I would imagine setting up for a 10th gateway across the map. We'll see. We shall see. As, yep, here we go. My eyes are on this probe. This probe is looking very suspicious. It's a 10 gate all in. It's a 10 gate, 3 base all in here at a hero. He's going to be sending it across the map one way or another. He either breaks a Dark, redies trying. There's the pylon. And he's committing. Oh boy, and Dark has no roaches. He has no roach horn. It's pure Link Queen. He's not ready for this. Dark, he's rushing, he's going into Hydras. Hydra has begun. It's not going to be a factor into this defense. Stalker's pushing forward. And we're waiting for reinforcements. We're waiting for the warp in. Oh, the run by though. Nicely done. Darky gets in. He forces a recall. He delays the all in. As here he races back home. The wall was not a hero. Pulling a hero. Because there was no wall, he was forced back home, and Darky's buying time. He's buying time for Hydras. Here comes our proxy. Again, this is the 10th gateway. Shield batteries as well. And now here he has arrived once again. He's back. He is back. Hydrogen is done in a couple of seconds. This is still not going to be easy, though. Still not easy defense. Yeah, Lings are coming from behind, collapsing on the production. On the proxy, here he has to respond. So far, so good. The shield batteries are coming into play. He protects the proxy. Dark getting to Hydra upgrades. Wait, did he? No. I was so confused. I was like, why do I see 2 upgrades? Double hydrogen. Dark, not like this. Let's go. Getting 2 upgrades at a time. I mean, hey, make use of double hydrogen, I guess. Let's go. And Stalkers, they're pushing in. Yeah, the Lings are just evaporating here. So many Stalkers. How many? 34. 34 Stalkers here. The Hydras are not ready for this at all. There's 7 more Hydras on the way. There's barely any Lings. And behind this here is going to be reinforcing with Zealots. With Charge Lots. And Dark, he's up against the wall here. He's barely keeping his head above water. GG gets called, he gets overwhelmed, and herO, he will claim the series 3-2, becoming this week's KSL 69 champion. GG. GG, well played. herO, he will claim the series. Again, a very spicy build, going for a 3 base all-in, 3 base 10 gate all-in, by the way, with the 10th gateway proxied across the map. And it was a shaky execution, is what I will say. Dark did a great job at buying time, but at the same time, because Dark had skipped his roaches, he was vulnerable. Specifically, if the Zerg player does cut corners, if they skip their roach one, if they're going Ling Hydra, they are vulnerable to these all-ins, as is an extended period of time where it's purely Ling Queen defense instead of any roaches or ravagers. And with that, Dark had no backbone to his army. He was just being bullied there by herO towards the end. And by the time the Hydras arrived, it was too late. It was too little too late. He had bled out too many Lings, and herO did overwhelm. GG. GG, well played. herO is going to be our champion, but a shout out to Dark because, hey, you don't make it for a great finals, you don't make for a great 69 without a good partner here. And Dark, he was an amazing partner, did lead all the way to the ace match. It was a very fun back and forth. It was beautiful. It was, it's beautiful, Pappy. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy. Oh, no. Oh, no, Pappy. Oh, no. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here, herO, he will claim it. Again, shout out to Dark, of course, for making it to the finals and for his performance as well. Heading on over here to the brackets, catching up with our players. Bam. Beautiful. We had herO to make it this far. herO, he took down Creator 2-1, took down Beyond 2-0, and took down Dark, of course, in the finals. Dark, he made his way through Bunny and through Classic. Again, if you want to check out the VODs, I do recommend it. We did cover Dark's run in this tournament with his series versus Bunny and Classic as well in the lead up to the finals. It was an amazing performance here, and again, a great finals as well to be had. When it comes to the upper matches, I believe they were covered by Chicken Man and Dave Testa. I believe they were covering the upper matches instead, so they have you covered when it comes to those VODs. Speaking of VODs, if you watch the events or if you see something that you like and if you can't watch it live, then check out our VODs here. Before I get ahead of myself, again, this event is sponsored and funded by the community, !KSL in the chat, and you will get a link to the KSL, to the Korean StarCraft League Patreon page, so you can help support and fund the Patreon and KSL via Patreon if you wish, only if you wish. Otherwise, watching is all that we ask. And again, this is a regular bi-weekly tournament. Every fortnight, every 2 weeks, we do host the KSL, so we'll be back with number 70 in 2 weeks' time. In 2 weeks' time, so we'll be here on the channel as we are every single time, every single edition. And when it comes to the rest of the broadcasts here, when it comes to more StarCraft on the channel, we have more coming. As always, our weekends are especially busy here. This morning, we did cover the OSC King of the Hill. That was an 8-hour cast, by the way. That was crazy Friday night. I believe we wrapped up like 6 or 7 a.m. in the morning. It was insane. I wasn't certain if I was going to be able to wake up in time for KSL, but Pappy, we're good. We woke up in time, well rested, and we were able to just jump into the KSL. Meanwhile, we have some more casting. This is going to be at 9 p.m. KST. That is going to be in 5 hours. In 5 hours time, we're going to be live with some more StarCraft. We're going to be live with the Bingus World number 26. If you're wondering, Bingus World, what is that? I don't know. I couldn't answer you. But that is a show match series. That is going to be an invitational. I believe 4 players have been invited. Quanta, Honmono, 3-Point, and Rebellion, I believe. 4 players have been invited, and we are going to be going into a big invitational show match featuring StarCraft Evolution. We cast a lot of StarCraft Evolution on this channel. If you're curious, what exactly is StarCraft Evolution? It is a mod in the game which does incorporate Brood War alongside SC2. It's not quite like Starbow. Starbow is a little bit different from back in the day. Starbow was like a hybrid, a kind of amalgamation of SC2 and Brood War. Here it's SC2 versus Brood War. So we have Brood War races, we have SC2 races, and the way that it works, every single match, it does force SC2 versus Brood War. You don't get SC2 versus SC2, you don't get Brood War versus Brood War, you get different races against each other. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's very refreshing as well. It is a very different dynamic, so I do recommend it. It is a breath of fresh air. If you're, maybe just consuming StarCraft 2, it is honestly just a really nice kind of like a really nice addition here to SC2, and is a lot of fun, really enjoyable. We always have a blast covering StarCraft Evolution, and that is going to be our show match in 5 hours time. Then, after that show match, at midnight KST, that is going to be 2 a.m. here in Australia, we're going to be live with the Firegrow Cup. If you're curious, what exactly is the Firegrow Cup? That is a monthly tournament. Every single month, we host the Firegrow Cup. That is a monthly CIS tournament featuring players like Skillus, like Wayne, Nicorect, Shameless, Art, alongside many, many others as well. Young Yako, for example, GG Machine, alongside players like Night Phoenix and Rostock as well. So again, players from the CIS region, they do face off in FireGrow Cup on a monthly basis, and that is a 2-day event. You can't see it on the schedule as hold on. You can't see it on the schedule as it does cross over into technically next week, but it's going to be a 2-day event. First day is here Saturday midnight or Sunday morning, and then on Monday as well. So back-to-back broadcasts here. KSL into the SC Evo show match, into FireGrow Cup, into Sparkling Tuna Cup. Sparkling Tuna Cup, that is an open tournament in SC2 here on Sunday. A weekly open tournament that is actually funded by the community as well. By the community, for the community. If you are curious, if you want to help support the CranKy Ducklings and specifically support our tournaments, you can do so via the Patreon. Exclamation mark Patreon in the chat, and you will get a link to our Patreon page. Quickly switching over here to our events. We host 3 events on a regular basis. We host Sea Duckling Open, Sparkling Tuna Cup, and Master Swan Open as well. It is all funded via the Patreon. 100% of the money on Patreon goes towards those tournaments. So if you want to help us fund those events, you can do so via Patreon. So thank you. Thank you so much to all of our patrons that do support us there. Otherwise, thank you so much for all the subscribers that we did get today as well. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Again, we're able to do this as often as we do on a daily basis, thanks to all the support we get on Twitch, on YouTube, via donations, on Patreon, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all things CranKy Ducklings. Thank you. Thank you so much for all the support. Big shout out to Pig. Big shout out to Jared. Of course, did give us a raid earlier today. Big raid, so thank you so much for all those that did stick around from that raid as well. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. And again, we cast StarCraft here on a daily basis. As you can see, multiple times a day. We cast more StarCraft than any other channel out there. We got the quantity, and we got a little bit of the quality. A little bit, Pappy, a little bit. So again, just non-stop StarCraft action here more than anyone else. And because of that, if you see something that you like, and if you can't watch it live, check us out on YouTube. Check out our YouTube. YouTube, we do upload on a daily basis. Plenty of content on YouTube. Too much for us to upload all at once. We have a little bit of like a 2-week backlog, but a lot of content. A lot of content on YouTube. A lot of content, a lot of StarCraft. So do check it out if you wish. Otherwise, thank you. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jay, as well. Jay Paralyzed. Always some kind words. Always. Thank you. Thank you. Just catching up in the chat. Whew. Pigpen sends us up. True, true. The Pigpen. The bacon. The bacon. Thank you. Thank you. Gracias, gracias. I mean, we're all animals, right? We got the pig, we got the duck, we got the chicken. We're chicken man. True, true. We're all animals. Oh, no. We are catching up. Otherwise, we are wrapping up. Otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up here for the time being. Like, you're an animal. I am. We have the mushroom ceviche. Este sano. Man, we got to talk about this, man. We got to talk about this. Oh, no. But for now, we're wrapping up. For now, we're going to be wrapping up. I'm going to go get some food. I'm going to go get some rest. I'm going to try to sleep. It's going to be difficult here. But I might try to get a little bit of sleep here before the next cast. Again, it's going to be a big marathon cast of the show matches into FireGrow Cup as well. It's going to be a lot of StarCraft, so we'll do our best. We will do our best. Wait, who won? herO. herO won. herO. Hold on. I have to make sure I pay our predictions. Otherwise, if you are unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft action, then we got you covered. We'll give someone else a raid. Who is live? Who is live at the moment? Who can we send everyone over to? Just quickly double checking. I see Nina's laddering. See Holly's. Sal is asleep. Este Sal. Still going through his subathon. Animal. Practice X is laddering. Who else? We'll find someone. We'll find someone to send everyone over to. So give them some love, give them some support, give them a chance. Gibbs, baby, Gibbs. What else do I see? Jason. And some others. We'll find someone. Otherwise, thanks for watching. And we'll see you guys either in 5 hours time, or we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow for, or whatever we see you with some more StarCraft. I'm sure you'll find us live at some point here on the channel. And we'll see you then. Otherwise, hasta luego. Hasta luego, papi. Ciao, ciao. See you next time.